Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to sunny California in Auto Club Fontana. It's going to be perfect weather for racing today with Auto Club Speedway located just east of the Los Angeles area, on the side of an old steel mill as well. The camera will rotate ever so slowly. You'll see that old steel mill. The wide 2-mile long D-shaped oval provides both driver and spectators with a great view of the largest attended sporting in the state of California. And once again, that is Auto Club Speedway. We're here for race number 4 of the Lodgebox series for the California Dreamin' 200. I'm Hunter Sleppy. Wow, I butchered my own name. Joining me in the booth tonight, Harold Darner, executive producer, and Jacob Bell. How's it going, guys?
That's some talent there, Hunter. That's talent.
It's going good, man. I'm happy to be back up here with you tonight, Hunter, as well as Harold on the controls as always. It's one of my favorite tracks, man. I like the big 2-mile tracks. I've been to Auto Club a couple weeks back in real life, and now we get to tackle it in iRacing with some pretty good drivers in this series. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, with these same cars, you got hit with a flying barrel, so hopefully we don't have any virtual barrels coming after us tonight.
Yeah, that pit road entry can get a little tricky. Sometimes you make a little mistake, you might end up in those barrels. So we'll see how these guys are able to take on this 2-mile beast tonight, man. I think it's going to be an interesting show. Looks like it's a little slick out there right now, but of course you're going to have the draft and a lot of horsepower, a lot of cars going after that lead spot. So it's going to be a good one to watch.
So if we go back to the other angle pit exit, they were not lying when they said it's sunny. I mean, the glare was just absolutely bright. Yeah, look at it. They weren't kidding. Yeah, we mentioned it. Going to go and take a look at our point standings real quick because surprisingly, I was surprised when I saw this. Well, that's the team standings. There we go. Yeah, Shane Therian, Cameron Hearn, only 2 drivers that are locked in. Shane Therian is actually the points leader. Without the wins, locking him in. So he's first in points. Cameron Hearn is 5th in points. Don't want to overreact just yet, Jake, but is this somewhat of a down year for Cameron Hearn to be only 5th in points after the domination that he had over the series last year?
I think it's been a tricky year. I won't say it's been a down year because obviously we're only 3 races in, and Hearn's gotten already to victory lane once in 3 races. But, man, you look at the track facts here. He went to victory lane at this track 1 season ago. So this is definitely not unfamiliar territory for Mr. Cameron Hearn. So I'm sure he's going to have a good race tonight. I don't think it's more so on Hearn's doing, though. I think it's really been the dominance we've seen from the Elwood Designs esports camp. You got Shane Therian. You mentioned the points leader, Davey Hendricks, Alan Elwood, Richard Thomas, all those guys up there in the top 5.
Not to mention last week's winner, Ryan Hartz, had absolutely as perfect of a race as you can have. Start on pole, lead every lap, lead the most laps. Well, flip that around. So start on pole, lead the most laps, lead every lap, and then have 0 incident points at Bristol of all places. And he won't make it tonight. Still partying a little too hard after that win, but it was a very much deserved victory. He's not locked in on the points because he is not full time in the Xfinity Series. Besides, he's going for that Cup championship, so not the Lodgebox championship. That's why we see, as you mentioned, Davey Hendricks 3rd, Elwood 4th. Those guys are fast. Richard Thomas in 5th. Then we got James Scully, Ed Robertson, Senesac, Fambro, Beckner. Forrest Smith and Garrett Grant holding that last playoff spot by just a point above Kyle Knapp.
Yeah, then outside looking in, you got, of course, you mentioned Kyle Knapp 1 point out, Rick Christensen 2 points out, Eli Green 2 points out. No Eli Green here tonight, doesn't look like. AJ Roderick, Ed Moore Sr., Danny Ware, Charles Canita, and Adam Caps rounding out the top 20. Oh yeah, Eli's up in
is in.
Yep. So we got 32 starters tonight,
and there he appears.
Well, talking to him, we were talking to him a couple days ago. He said he's not the biggest fan of the Xfinity cars, so wasn't sure if he was going to try to make this full-time season or not, but good to see him back up in here. We mentioned only 2 points out of the playoffs. Then you switch it over to the team points, Hunter, and like I mentioned, the Elwood Designs camp, they've done a fantastic job this season. They got the points lead over my co-owned team with David Weishart down there in 2nd of Bell Weishart Esports, only 30 points back. Elite Entertainment's back there with 44 points behind our top team there of Elwood. And you got to keep in mind, Elite, they got Cameron Hearn on that team, so they're up for a victory almost any given night. And then rounding out the team points, Transcendent Motorsports down there looking to get a little luck on their side, but they got Eli Green in the show tonight for them, as well as Forrest Smith and a few other guys that we'll get to keep our eyes on all night here, Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. And, looking at our practice sheet right now, Travis Beckner is actually the fastest man on the track. Put down a 40.856. And, I was going to touch up on the kind of racing that we saw, because you mentioned Eli Green doesn't like the Xfinity cars. But this past Monday, the Elite Entertainment Cup Series, for the first half of the race, it just seemed like the cars were just a bit too loose. But the second half, it provided for some absolutely fantastic racing. So I'm wondering if we'll see. So we see. Yep, that is Chris Seinfeld upside down.
Well, we got team points out of it. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. I don't know if we'll see better handling cars, but from this, I have no clue now.
I think the Xfinity cars are kind of known for, the longer the run goes on, the more that right front tire wears out, and typically that's going to make the car tighter. So I think if we can get these guys in a 5-10 lap start of just green flag racing, it's going to really tighten these things up, and it'll produce for a good show, I think, with a lot of the draft coming into play and all these guys trying to draft off of one another and staying up to the front as close as they can and being there at the end to make a move. That's going to be key tonight, Hunter. I don't think it's going to be the guy who stays out front and leads the most laps. I don't think it'll be surprising if they don't end up getting the victory. I think it's going to be somebody who's there at the end with a good draft, with a good run, and able to make a move for the win.
Yeah, could be, like I mentioned, Beckner, fastest man, or Kyle Knapp really showing out here in our practice speed. So looking through here, got Mason Kane. He was off to a good start last week at Bristol. We weren't at Talladega. It seemed like Talladega, though, because Cameron Hearn and Mason Kane, at least for the early stages of the race, they were just working the outside together, just moving up through the field inside the top 5, and then Mason Kane had an issue and had to disconnect early. But nonetheless, he's come back with the same top 10 speed, and who knows, maybe he can, maybe he'll make it all the way to the very end and might have himself a chance at winning.
Yeah, I think I think this track's going to play into a lot of different people with an opportunity to win. And speaking of that, Hunter, the poll just went up. The contest, I should say, went up, where everybody can risk their channel points and make their prediction on who they think's going to win tonight's race. We took the top 9 in points. So you got Cameron Hearn, Shane Theron, Richard Thomas, Davey Hendricks, Alan Elwood, and then Colin Fambro, James Scioli, Bryce Senesac, and Ed Robertson. Those 9 are options for who you can pick to win the race tonight. If you don't like those 9, Hunter, you can do what you did last week, and you can place a bet on the rest of the field and type in !bet space field space the amount of channel points you want to wager. So good way to earn those channel points and get you one step closer to snagging some free merch.
Yeah, like I said last week, the winner was
Bristol,
Ryan Hartson. No, I was just about to say it's not Bristol. It is Auto Club.
It's Auto Club.
Stream Elements they're still stuck on.
You're stuck last week.
Great racing that we had last week at Bristol.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, like you mentioned last week, Ryan Hart's won. He was listed underneath. What was that? Field. I almost said
non-field. Yeah.
Yeah, he was listed under the field, but Mason Kane, like I say, he could win. Do we see Scioli on there? Scioli is on there. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of good options on this list, man. It's hard to pick.
Not even that, but even under field, you got guys like Danny Ware and Jordan Martin who could just surprise you.
Kyle Knapp as well, fastest man in practice. One of the fastest, along with Travis Beckner. So both those guys go in the field. Weishart goes in the field. Good point. Garrett Grant goes in the field, who was my bet last week. I bet him straight up. So a lot of good opportunities there in the field. But Hunter, Cameron Hearn got it done last season, and he's not in the field. He's in his own predicament where you can bet for him to win tonight. So it's gonna be a tight one. Pick who you think's gonna advance and who's gonna get the win. And reminder, you guys can use your channel points down in the chat below. That poll's gonna be up for about 15 more minutes, so right up to the start of the race.
Absolutely, and we'll get started with qualifying now. Oh, excuse me. I'm looking through our practice sheet. The track record here was set by Ricky Springer last year at a 41.068. And I was looking through, Beckner had the fastest time with a 40.856. And everyone inside the top 15 broke that track record set by Ricky Springer. So there's a good chance that we'll see a new track record here in qualifying.
Yeah, I think the one thing you got to think about though, there, Hunter, is the draft in practice really let those guys put down such a quicker lap. So that might be the only thing I'd be a little bit cautious about. But it'll be close. I think they'll be right on top of that track record. So it's gonna be a fun qualifying session to watch here. As we got the weather presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com for tonight's California Dreamin' 200. Partly cloudy skies, air temp at 65, track temp all the way down to 67 with a relative humidity of 41%. Winds coming from the northwest at about 11 miles per hour, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well tonight as qualifying's underway. And we got Ed Robertson on the track.
Now, Jake, now that you're in California, I can get it from both Florida and California. Is the humidity as accurate as it seems?
It depends what month you're on. So right now it's set for April 21st here. So I would say it's pretty accurate there. So we got Ed Robertson now working out of turn 4 for his first lap.
So drivers will have 2 laps put down their fastest lap, but we saw a handful of guys in the Cup Series scrape the wall, even go into the grass, spin their car out, and really couldn't find any grip for that second lap because they were going all out for it. So we'll have to see if that'll be set for the Lodgebox Series, or if these guys are able to come off turn 4 without hitting or spinning and putting down another fast lap.
And right there, you can see they're already flirting with that track record. Jordan Martin at the top of the boards with a 41.092, just 20 hundredths of a second off the track record. So it's going to be tight here as Ed Robertson now he's coming to complete his second lap, and we'll see if he's able to pick up any at the stripe. And he does, and he breaks the track record.
Right off the bat. It could be a familiar sight, we'll see.
Here comes one of the favorites here tonight, Cameron Hearn, starting his qualifying run in that number 67 for Elite Entertainment Gaming.
This is his second lap. He's already got the pole.
Oh, he's already got the pole. So there he goes. He's coming to complete his second lap, but he's got the track record comfortably with a 40.947 right now. And see if he can pick up any on lap number 2. I don't think he would be able to, but no, it's going to be a lot slower, almost a second off from lap number 1.
Yeah, even though we're not surprised that he's quick, that it almost surprised me because he was in the 20s in the practice sheet, and just goes out there and is like, yeah, I still have speed.
Oh, Rick Christensen.
If you saw what lap time I put down in practice, no, you didn't.
Rick Christensen's going to jump up to third in that number 19, 41.054. Good qualifying effort from him.
Chris Seidenfein in the number 45. Hard to miss that paint scheme on the track. Stands out pretty good amongst the rest. Not knocking on the rest of the field, but the Mobile One color is just a nice touch.
Yeah, big fan of the Mobile One scheme there for the number 45 of Chris Seidenfein as he's coming to begin his qualifying lap there. Taking the high approach here on lap 100, which makes me think he's thinking lap number 2 might be his money lap.
Very could be. Only have 10 drivers that have gone out and put down a lap. Oh, nope. So let's see that. Adam Caps put this down a lap. So we only have 11 times on the board from different drivers. Still a handful of guys are out there making their laps now. It's actually Mason Kane just put down a lap, but he must have made contact with the wall. Seidenfein comes across the stripe. That is blurry.
41. Yeah, way down there. 41.825. So about a second off of the pole time. Travis Beckner is going to jump up and grab the pole, by the way, there, Hunter. 40.929 for Travis Beckner. So he's going to beat his teammate on that front row, but we'll see if the 45 of Chris Sidefine's got anything for his second lap here as he's coming through 3 and 4. There you see Beckner. Not going to improve there on lap number 2. Oh, Chris is going to get in the outside wall there in 4. That's going to derail his qualifying run.
That will do it for him. Now we have Joe Hassard and the number 11 coming down, putting down a lap. Danny Ware jumps up to third with a 40.968. And Mason Kane, that lap actually counted. He put down a 41.062. It just didn't jump up on the chart right away. So P6 right now for the number 32 of Mason Kane.
And you got the 11 here, Joe Hassard on track. He one of the drivers for Transcendent Motorsports and looking to get a good run, get those guys back up in the team points battle. They've been great in the first 2 series on Monday nights and Tuesday nights. Struggled a little bit so far on Thursdays, but I think they finally got their group together. And we'll see what Big Joe's got here on lap number 1 as he's coming through 3 and 4. Again, he's looking like he's taking a similar approach to what we saw with Chris Sidefied and running that top side of the track on lap number 1. And just trying to build up momentum as he gets set to start a second lap here. He is going to complete lap 1, though. 41.636 is going to slot him in the 19th spot.
Have a little work to do for the main event when it comes through. All 100 laps. Just in a moment after qualifying session wraps up.
Looks like Danny Ware is going to jump up to that 3rd spot as well. And here comes Joe Hassard out of turn 4 to complete lap number 2. See if he can pick up from that P21 spot he's currently slotted in. He's going to cross the stripe. And he will pick up, but he's only going to jump up to that 15th spot with a 41.253. We'll round out the top,
Elwood.
16, I believe.
Hold on now. Alan Elwood with the new track record.
By a lot.
The top of the chart.
Holy smokes. 40. 83. Wow. 2/10 quicker.
First lap too.
Yeah. 2/10 quicker there for the number 49. Hey, this should not be a surprise here, Hunter. I mean, Alan Elwood, his starting positions have been incredible. He averages a 3.91 average start position, and if he can hold on tonight and grab the pole, it'll be his 5th pole in series history for the number 49.
See if the number 4 of Dustin Carroll has anything to say to that time.
Just about a minute and a half left here, so he's going to have to boogie around as well as these other guys if they want to try to put down a qualifying lap. As you see Dustin Carroll now come in out of turn number 4. 41.887. Going to put him 26 on lap 1.
Looking through here, the Danny Ware fan page has made its way into our chat and providing us with a link to Danny Ware merch, so all you guys can buy merch for the number 18 of Danny Ware from AreaIRacing.shop, but it can be anyone other than Danny Ware. It could be Cameron Hearn, could be David Weishart, could be Forrest Smith, or you could buy the commentators collection of Louisiana Dive Bomb. Get yourself a pillow, get yourself a sweatshirt, get yourself a shirt, get yourself anything you want from AreaIRacing.shop.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool products on there. So hoodies, shirts, you mentioned the pillows for the Louisiana Dive Bomb collection you came up with. So definitely recommend all of our followers there. Check out AreaIRacing.shop. Got some cool drivers merch. I don't see that too often from any other leagues also. So it's definitely a cool opportunity for these guys to get themselves some cool merch and driver stuff and just a cool shop there. I like to create that kind of stuff and see all the stuff we got built up here. And I got a dog barking in the background.
Always those darn dogs. They're probably giving reviews about the merch right now, but there's a time and a place for that, guys.
Yeah.
Good bit of stickers were sold from the Cameron Hearn fan club, so it's a battle of the fan club. Whose fans are the most loyal to their driver? All going through merch sales. And it looks like that'll do it for our qualifying session. So we'll go ahead and get your starting lineup here in just a moment. Looks like your front row is going to be Alan Elwood in the number 49, and Travis Beckner, the fastest man in practice, will have to be second fiddle just for the qualifying session. Row 2, we're going to find Cameron Hearn and Danny Ware. Row 3, James Scioli, Ed Robertson. And row 4, Rick Christensen and Mason Kane. And then in row number 5, it's Colin Fambro and points leader Shane Therian.
Pretty good top 10 there. We look at row 6. You got Jordan Martin in the number 77. Outside of him is going to be Ricky Harden. Davey Hendricks and Garrett Grant are going to make up row 7. Row 8, you got Richard Thomas and Ryan Swan. Row 9, Kyle Knapp. Outside of him is going to be Charles Kaneda. Rounding out the top 20 is going to be Bryce Senesac and the number 11 of Joe Hazard.
Row 11, it'll be Adam Capps and Forrest Smith. Row 12, Eli Green and Zach Swicegood. Row 13, Dustin Carroll and Christian Martinez. Row 14, Chris Seinfein and David Weishart. Yes, they are related, and they share a row. And then row 15 will be Jose Ruiz in his first ever Lodgebox start, and Kyle Smith on his outside.
Then our last few starters tonight, it's going to be Ed Morris Sr. Outside of him, Jacob Hudson, and then Christopher Buds in the number 13. It's going to round out our field of 33 here tonight at Auto Club. Everybody's getting gridded up, getting set. And Hunter, we got a cool feature we want to unveil out here tonight. We got a in-race reporter that we're going to start trying out for these next couple of races, and we're going to kick it off tonight with the number 33 of David Weishart. David, Hunter, Harold, and Jake in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you chose not to qualify tonight. Something I saw a lot of guys doing this week at Auto Club, especially with the past few races we've had out there. Talk to us about that strategy and what you can expect for this race out here tonight.
Well, it kind of worked out for me last week. I was just expecting to run last week and got some more free time tonight, so didn't put in any practice other than what we just did there. So I'm going to sit back here and save my tires and feel it out.
Well, I got to ask. You said Bristol was your one-off start. 7 days later, we see you back out here at Auto Club. What's the thought process there? Are you trying to run some more races this season?
Like I said, I'll probably just run whenever I get some free time. I got some free time tonight, so I don't have any more races planned as of right now, but you never know.
All right, David. Well, good luck out there tonight. I'll let Hunter ask you some questions next time around when we can catch back up with you, but we'll be watching, and like I said, good luck out there.
Thanks, guys.
That was David Weishart, and you just saw his in-studio setup as the field is making their way down the backstretch. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and make my pick. I already put it in the chat. I'm going with the number 54 of Colin Fambro. I think he's due for one.
I like that pick, Hunter, but I'm going to go with the guy we just talked to. I'm going to go with the field, in all honesty, with my prediction, but I'm going to go with David Weishart gets it done.
And I'm looking at Elite Gaming with Cameron Hearn. Going to snap that little bit of an issue that he's been having. His slump, which is just that he hasn't won in a couple races. That's kind of
yeah.
Pace car moves way down on pit road. It's going to be Alan Elwood and Travis Beckner leading the field to the green flag, and we're underway from Auto Club.
No surprise there for Alan Elwood. He gets his 5th career pole in the Lodgebox Series, and he jumps out to a great start over Travis Beckner and teammate Cameron Hearn running 2nd and 3rd right now. And then you got to go all the way back to Danny Ware in 4th place. That's where you're going to see our first battle. Looks like James Scioli looking to form up underneath him.
Some close side-by-side racing. They're working their way down the front stretch. Elwood's going to lead the first lap. Then it's going to be, got to go back to 4th between Danny Ware and James Scioli side by side.
No, you
right there, that battle for the 10th spot. Yep. It's like we're seeing Jake race right
exactly.
now.
I was going to say, so, hey, Jake, how does it feel when you're looking at the 77 and you're not in it.
Well, hey, I talked to Jordan, right, and he wanted to start running some of these races, and he got all signed up, and we were talking about numbers, and, you know, he races for us on Mondays and Tuesdays. I threw out the 77, and he said, let's roll with it. So cooked him up the paint scheme that we used to run back in the Xfinity cars, and it's definitely a weird feeling to see him out there. But how about this battle for the lead? Travis Beckner is flying right now on the high side of the track, Hunter.
He was sticking it to Cameron Hearn at the beginning of the race, and now he's trying to do the same to Alan Elwood, although he is blinking in and out.
Yeah, that's something that we have known Beckner to do here a few times. He's going to get around him, though, on the top, as Alan Elwood's giving him plenty of room down low. They still are side by side through 3 and 4 here.
I think we'd see a early battle for the lead like this early on. It's lap 3, but you never know. And I mean, these two have checked out from the rest of the field. I mean, we all know how fast Cameron Hearn is, and he's third. He's almost a second back from these front two.
Yeah, and it's something we talk about a lot, though, and that makes Cameron Hearn so good in these cars is he's able to wear out that right rear tire quicker than these guys wear out their right front, so it allows his stuff to wear out a lot more evenly. He keeps that thing steady through the first part of the run, and then you can see how quick he'll be on the older tires. But, hey, maybe tonight Alan Elwood and Travis Beckner got something else figured out, because you're right, Hunter, they've checked out over a second on third place. And third on back, it's a party, though. You got Ed Robertson down there working with James Scioli, Mason Kane. They're side by side all over that top 5.
Oh yeah, they're even running on the apron now. We're looking almost 4 wide on the front stretch here.
And Mason Kane peaking high, decides not to make that move, but they are still 3 wide. It's Colin Fambro, Ed Robertson, and
Oh,
Scioli.
there they go. They're making contact. Kane to the wall. Scioli into him as well. Oh, and there's more wrecking in the back. That's going to bring out our first yellow of the night. Oh, they are still wrecking.
Looks like Ryan Swan was one of the guys who got into Scioli there once he got spun up into the outside wall. We'll see here. Take a look at the replay, Hunter. I'd imagine a lot of these guys aren't going to be too happy with that.
Very early on, but you saw they tried going 4 wide, settled for 3, and then it was heading into turn 1. Just that slight contact from Ed Robertson there on the bottom into Scioli, into Mason Kane, and then all carnage ensues in front of them. Ryan Swan involved as well, nowhere to go. Then you got some guys spinning and clipping the 7 a little further up front, but man, that's a heavy accident.
Yeah, it looked like a couple cars got into the number 7 there once he was spun out. I saw the 8. I saw the 10 of Christian Martinez, I believe. He's got a substantial amount of damage on that race car. Just a tough break for a lot of these guys. Mason Kane, it looks like he's also going to be done for the night. So tough break early on in this race, Hunter, but we already got our first caution.
Second week in a row, Mason Kane's had some pretty good speed early on, and then that's the disconnect. Last week it was internet issues or internal issues, if you will, and this week it was just getting caught up in an early wreck, wrong place at the wrong time.
So we'll see what these guys elect to do. I believe everybody's going to stay out there on the racetrack and not come down and use one of their 3 tire sets. They're going to want to hold on to that for later on in the race, as Alan Elwood was able to take that lead back. But we actually do have a couple takers coming down pit road. It's Ed Robertson who initiated that contact with the 7 of James Scioli. Who else is coming down? Looks like the 1 of Richard Thomas is hitting pit road. Kyle Knapp in the 27. The 84 of Forrest Smith is in, as well as the number, I believe that's the 19 of Rick Christensen, and a couple others coming down pit road.
Yeah, good bit of early takers. I think they're playing the long game with this and thinking that we'll get a good green flag run going once the restart comes through.
Yeah, we've seen this race a lot of times here at Auto Club come down to fuel mileage. So if you have an opportunity to come down, maybe you don't want to take tires, but it's not a bad idea to fill the car up with fuel. Just anything can help when it comes down to the end of this thing, and you got a little bit more fuel, a couple extra laps. That can make a difference when it's all said and done.
I believe that's what the first 5 drivers, Thomas, Seidenfaden, Knapp, Ruiz, and Ed Morris Sr., pretty much all just topping off. Tires and damage might have been Robertson, Capps, Scioli, Forrest Smith, Dustin Carroll, and Jacob Hudson.
Yeah, there were a number of drivers that were clipping the 7 and then just spinning in front of the 7 after, because he was just in there in the top. And it seemed like that was a line that a lot of drivers were taking early on, and made for some early carnage.
You
Okay,
know-
we might have, I think, 3 disconnects. No, I only see. You said Mason Kane. I see Christian Martinez. I don't think
Christian
Ryan Swan
Martinez.
is disconnected yet.
Christian Martinez is the only one that has disconnected.
Oh, Jake. Looks like the Hearn fan club might have found your dog. I don't think that's it though, but seems like they might have found it. And there is our in-race reporter, David Weishart. He made it through that wreck unscathed. He was in the back, but even then they were still wrecking in the back. But he's worked his way through and up to 17th.
And Hunter, I brought him up here because I asked all the questions the first time around here as they're getting ready to go green. I was going to hand it off to you and see if you got anything for David.
Sweet. It's like a reversal for Auto Club when you were the pit reporter, Jacob Bell. Now we got to go down to Weishart. David, what did you see out there in that early caution?
No, I don't know. I heard there was some 3-wide battling going on up there, and lap 5 of a 100-lap race, there's no give and take there. So a couple of guys got taken out. That's unfortunate. Lap 5, it's too early to be racing like that.
Say, what was your view of that? Because we saw some guys clipping the 7 and spinning out towards the back as they were catching them.
Oh, I saw the 7 up against the wall, and then something happened with the 8. I think the 8 hit him, and then the 45 swerved to avoid it, and I had to slam on the brakes. So it was pretty chaotic. It was more chaotic than I wanted it to be this early.
All right, David, we'll let you go and get settled in for the restart. That was David Weishart. He's up to 17th now after that early caution. And looks like we got deja vu all over again. The front row has not changed. It's still Alan Elwood leading the way with Travis Beckner on the outside, and the green flag flies once more in Southern California.
You can see the sun just setting all over these race cars and the reflective sun off of the windshield banners and on the side of these things as they head down the front straightaway. You mentioned it. Front row didn't change at all there, Hunter. Beckner still working the top. Elwood down low. Now we got Cameron Hearn actually challenging for second.
Was challenging. We're going to settle in for the first 5 spots. Then you got to go to Ricky Harden and Colin Fambro, the next battle. Actually, as soon as I say that, Shane Therian looking to the outside of Danny Ware for that 4th spot.
Heads up, admin tonight series director Eric Wineland PMing us that was a racing incident, so didn't deem anybody at fault for that first caution. That's why there was no EOLs issued.
Intriguing.
You know, Jacob, you talked about how we pulled the in-race reporter this week, the 33 of David Weishart. You know, maybe open that invitation up to our drivers, tell them how they could be the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of our drivers that are able to share their cameras, we have a OBS Ninja link in our Discord. Guys, just check out the press box tab and you guys could enter there and get your cameras all set up. But we are going to open up a poll tonight's race of who you guys want to see as the next in-car reporter, in-race reporter, I should say, for next week's race. So I'll make sure to get that poll up in the Twitch chat and you guys will get your opportunity to vote.
Yeah, next week we'll be going to Dover, so that'll be an interesting one with some short track racing.
Woohoo, home track.
Yep. And I'll say it's within the same distance as it is Pocono with me.
For you, yeah. For me, Pocono a little bit further. A little bit further for Pocono from where we were at. And are you actually? Did you actually get tickets, or you're not going? Because I know you said you were thinking about going to the NASCAR weekend.
And school getting in the way.
School got in the way.
More focused to that.
I'll be there though. I'll be there. So if the Siegs are there, we'll try to see if we can find them. But the Cushwa, me, and church folk will all be there on Saturday and Sunday. So
who knows? Maybe you could give an Xfinity driver a Sasquatch award down there in the pits.
I'll have my coins with me, so I've already told a specific driver. I won't name him until we'll actually have a picture, and I'll put it out there.
Boy, as we're talking about Sasquatch and Dover, Pocono, Pine Trees, we have a 4-car battle for the lead here. Going all the way down on the apron, that's Shane Therian. Mm-hmm. They're 3 wide for second going into turn 1.
Yeah, there was a ton of battling going on within that top 5, and look at the different lines everybody's taken. Shane Theron down low. You mentioned the 3-wide move. Beckner's been up high since the drop of this thing, and it's been really, really exciting racing all throughout this field. And right now, Shane Theron in that number 38 is absolutely flying and digging on the bottom of this racetrack.
We really didn't get
now.
I was saying, we really didn't get a good look of multiple lanes being used Monday night for the Cup Series, but
Tuesday night we did.
Through here. Yeah, Tuesday night. I was looking through here. It's like, which lane do you want to be in, high or low? Then we got, I guess, middle 1, middle 2, middle 3, because there's so many lanes with how wide this track is, and we saw it right there.
The Tuesday night, Travis Beckner was wall riding predominantly most of the night with his truck. And it looks like he's taken a little bit of what he learned on Tuesday night and brought it out here tonight.
Well, these Xfinity cars are kind of known at this track as being one of the most fun combinations in terms of track and car combos, and I think you can see why. I think every inch of this racetrack in the corner has been used already, and right now, like you mentioned, Shane Theron going back up to the top side of the track, trying to work his way up inside that top 3, but Alan Elwood, he's done a good job of commanding this thing and just not letting anybody get too good of a run and challenge for that lead.
Now it looks like the car trying to join in on the mix is the 54 of Colin Fambro. He's closing in on Shane Theron. Now Cameron Hearn up to second, trying to get a run on the top here. Might set him up for the backstretch.
It looks like he's got a good run here, and he's going to peak low on the race leader, Alan Elwood. He did it. He did exactly what you said there, Hunter. He set it up in the corner. He ran the top. He got the momentum, and to the lead goes the 67.
He got the most momentum out of that, and now Elwood trying to get a run back, trying to cross him over, but can't quite do it. But look at Theron in the back getting a run.
Yeah, these guys are racing all over this racetrack right now, man. It's an exciting thing to watch. Is the 38 now, he's able to clear up on Beckner. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in a row, nose to tail as they enter through turn 1 and 2. This time around, everybody takes the bottom, Hunter, but coming through 3 and 4, I have a feeling we'll see people taking all different types of line.
Gee, Brad saying in the fan club that he doesn't want to talk about Tuesday night.
Oh, man.
Look at Shane just drive that car into the corner, man, on the top.
It's broadcasting, man. We can bring up anything we saw. It's fair game.
Say surprised Beckner didn't run the top that time, but Theron, that run's going to carry him all the way to potentially taking the lead from Cameron Hearn going into 1.
Yeah, I mean, that was an excellent example of how to use the top and just build up as much momentum as possible.
Oh,
now Hearn's going to do the opposite, and yeah, he's going to fend him off there by running the high line through 1 and 2 that time.
Wait, look at this. We got a pack of 10 cars that are within a second and a half of each other. It's like Monday night. They're pack racing.
Well, this time, Elwood's been taking notes of what the 38's been doing, and he's going to move up and try the top a little bit as well. And it looks like he's actually going to try to diamond that exit off the corner of turn 4. And now he's on the bottom side of the racetrack battling with Theron, but Theron's also got a run on Cameron Hearn. It's about to get interesting in turn 1.
A little bit of touching there between. Somebody gave him the horn. It's a little early for that.
Look at these cars.
Talladega.
They're just fanning out in the corner.
Yeah, what short track? We don't need no short track.
Now Shane's going to give a bump to the 49, his teammate.
Back offs. Hearn going to run the top, middle-ish. Elwood on the bottom, and then Theron right behind. Going to slide up in front of the 38. Oh, now we're going to see some two-car tango between the teammates there on the outside.
Yeah,
this is going to be an interesting battle.
Race control has been telling Travis Beckner to watch his car because of the ping rate. Basically, that was in and out. They just gave him the green light to go back to hard racing because his connection is stabilized. So he kind of was backing out for the last few laps. That's why he fell back.
Oh, Cameron Hearn trying to do the snake effect. I don't think it's going to work too well. Elwood closed the gap there a good bit off turn 2 and now into 3. He was running the Larson line through 1 and 2. Going to be a little off the wall through 3 and 4. We see the snake effect again on the front stretch. Cameron Hearn almost clipping the front stretch grass.
Yeah, we figured. I mean, there's one question we could have asked David Weishart is what's the fuel level look like?
Here comes the 49 trying to slide up. They're going to be side by side off turn 2. Run's going to go to Hearn in the 67.
I'd watch out for that number 15 back there, Ricky Harden. He started in 12th, and he's worked his way now inside the top 5, and he's looking pretty sharp right now, Hunter. He's been running the bottom, he's been running the top, and he looks like he's got the speed, especially here on the short run. I'm interested to see what he can do on the long run. We haven't seen Harden too much yet this season, so it's a refreshing sight to see that 15 running inside the top 5 now.
When you say Harden, I think James Harden now because their names are so similar. One with the I, one with the E. But yeah, Ricky Harden, he's driven up inside the top 5. It's looking like he's got a solid car for the moment. Battle still going on up front, though. Elwood keep trying to pass him on the bottom. Can't quite do it. Hearn's going to shut the door on him going into 3.
And again,
but he opens
up
up
against
another
the wall.
door for Therian.
Yep. Up against the wall. He's done a great job of using that lane all night long. Again, it looks like he's going to try to give a bump to his teammate there, Alan Elwood, as they try to work around the 67.
No, that's going to work. Elwood with the advantage going into turn 1. He might be able to slide up in front of the 67. Yeah. No, he can't. He's building up a run.
Decided not to, it looked like. He could have, though. I agree, Hunter. He could have went down there and just drove that thing wide open and slid in front of him, but he decided not to.
We got a battle between teammates up here. We got Cameron Hearn in first and Travis Beckner in fourth trying to get in on this for Elite Entertainment. Then the Elwood Design Sports guys running the first and third for the moment. But, yeah, a lot of switching up going on in the top 4.
One thing I've noticed tonight is that with all the battling we've seen up front, it's kind of allowed, like you mentioned, Hunter, the back half of the top 10 to close up to the leaders. We got 9 cars now within a second and a half all the way back to Bryce Senesac. So definitely tonight, I feel like more than most races we go to, like our mile-and-a-half tracks, we could see a potential for first-time winner.
I'll say don't look too far back now because inside that top 10, just the first driver off from this pack is our in-race reporter, David Weishart. And he restarted 17th, so he's up 7 spots since we went back green.
Oh, up front, Hearn got a little loose there off of turn 4, opens up the door for Alan Elwood. Side by side at the stripe, give that lap to Elwood, but here comes the teammates of Shane Theron and the teammate of Hearn, Travis Beckner in the number 28. With identical schemes, by the way, that makes it even easier to tell who's teammates in this top 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got the 2 Toyotas of Elwood and Theron, and then the 2 Fords there of Hearn and Beckner working together as they head down the backstretch. So Elwood grabbed the lead for the moment.
He's going to send it down in the 3, but he's going to get crossed over here by Alan Elwood on the bottom.
And look at the run Shane's going to get here. They're going to be all 3 under a blanket.
Colin Fambrough just got a massive run on the outside. He's going to look past the 28 of Beckner.
Oh, my goodness, man. We're
right
going to
behind him is Ricky Harden.
We're going to get 76 more laps of this, Hunter. I don't know if we're going to be able to take all the moves we're going to have tonight. It's going to be slide jobs. It's going to be draft. It's going to be a little bit of everything.
I'll say we've had this since the restart. I mean, it has not let up just yet. Back here, looks like Eli Green and Kaneda battling for the 13th spot. Elwood got a little breathing room that time by.
Yeah, Elwood stretched out the margin a little bit over Cameron Hearn. Beckner actually went the wrong direction. He's now fallen back to the 6th spot as things are almost settling out in the top 5. As I say that, Ricky Harden under attack from Travis Beckner.
Not giving up on that top just yet. He might put himself under attack with Fambrough right behind because he's getting closer and closer towards that front 3.
Yeah, Fambrough looks good right now. I like your pre-race pick of that 54 because right now he's closed in the gap on the top 3, and I think he's done a good job of managing the tires as well, which could prove to be key at the end of this run.
Yeah, still a long way to go. We haven't seen these guys come down pit road, and we could see the potential of green flag pit stops with the battles that we're seeing going on. I don't know how they're going to make that happen.
Yeah, I'd say about 15 laps or so would be our window, man, where we see a lot of these guys coming in just before halfway, right around potentially lap 40. So it's a good point you bring up there with the fuel strategy and how these guys are going to differ from the guys that came in and got fuel only under our first caution. Oh, wrecking in the back, it's Ricky Harden in the number 15, and the 18, the Danny Ware, he goes sliding through the grass right behind our top 5.
Going to bring out our second caution of the night. And we'll get a look at our one to get replay and look exactly what happened. These guys were running just behind the top 5 here. This is the lap 4 we're catching up on.
Sounded like I heard it, Hunter. I didn't see it. I heard it. And I heard somebody hit the wall, and then I heard tires go squealing. So if I had to predict, I would say somebody came off of turn 4 a little bit too hard and got into the outside wall, and that's what triggered this pile up. You see the 15 there, Ricky Harden. He was battling with Travis Beckner, and it happens right here in turn 3 and 4, I would assume, with the number 15.
These guys were all battling for that top 5 spot. There's Harden on the outside, Beckner on the bottom, and it looks like Harden is going to get a little too much of that front stretch. Wall, clip it. Nowhere to go for Danny Ware. Oh no, and
that was Davey Hendricks.
That just got clipped? That was Hendricks, okay.
So 3 Elwood Toyotas right there get taken out in one corner between the 15 of Ricky Harden, the 18 of Danny Ware, and then the 94 of Davey Hendricks.
I was just about to say it looks like the tires were fading off from the front runners because that top wasn't working as well as it was for Shane Therian earlier, and now we see everyone come down pit road.
Yep. And Elwood's going to be the first one on. I love this shot because you can see who's taking 4 tires, who's taking none, who's taking 2. You're going to see everybody, though. Here, take 4 tires, I do believe, as Elwood's the first car in his box. He is the first pit stall because he qualified on pole, should win the race off here, and he does.
So you got to be a madman to take 2 tires at Auto Club.
I love this shot. Great job there on the camera work there, Harold. That gives you a good picture of where everybody's coming off the pit road. And there's that 77. You think it's me.
So it looks like the front 3 positions will stay the same. Beckner up to 4th after coming in 5th. Fambro going to fall back to 5th. Garrett Grant now up to 6th.
A lot of movers and shakers on that run, man.
So
that was fun.
Saying we still have over 70 laps of racing left here for the California Dreamin' 210, presented by Elite Entertainment. We would like to thank Elite Entertainment for their support of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series and from all of us here at Area. Be sure to check out Elite Entertainment on Facebook and book them to DJ your next event. And, you know, they're not wrong with their name, Elite Entertainment. Beckner and Hearn were in that battle with Elwood and Therian there for the longest time. And
it looks like JT Motormouth 73, but that's Beckner's dad, saying that he's saying Travis Blinker, that was his words, not mine, has picked up a sponsor for actual internet, so he will not be on it won't be on a hotspot starting next month. So that should help out his racing.
So I think the dog is going crazy over that. They might be a big Beckner fan. Okay, that's good news to Beckner and all the Beckner fans out there, and for Elite Entertainment, as we mentioned, because he was blinking up there, had to back off from the battle, and that's what allowed the front 3 to pull away, and then a rotating door for 4th. But now Beckner's back to 4th and going to go back racing here when the pace car pulls in this time. It's going to be Elwood on the bottom, Hearn on the top, Therian, Beckner for row 2 with Garrett Grant going to start 6th, Fambro 5th. Then we got Senesac, Thomas, Robertson, and Swicegood inside the top 10.
Well, they're organized up by teams there, Hunter. The first 2 rows, you got 2 Elwoods on the bottom and 2 Elites on the top. So should see a lot of pushing here.
I would say you would have thought this was a super speedway race with the way they're racing and lining up for the restarts. So here we go. We got Elite Entertainment on the top and Elwood Designs on the bottom. Green flag back out here at Auto Club.
And picking up our battle here for the race lead, Alan Elwood able to jump out into the early advantage on that restart, but Cameron Hearn not letting him get away whatsoever. He's going to peek up high and almost squeeze into the wall there with Elwood. They race down into 1 and 2. Update from series director Eric Wineland tonight, by the way. Last caution, EOL given out to the number 15 there, Ricky Harden.
That's as close as you could get without making contact. I mean, that was super close. Almost looked bad.
He's going to peek out there again, Hunter.
Trying to get that run. One of the things you got to be careful for now with that turn 4 wall, and especially if you're trying to make a move on the outside in turn 3. But we see him again go to the outside, and Elwood's not going to be able to block that.
Fastest car on the racetrack right now, Travis Beckner in the 28. So they go side by side for the lead off of turn 2. The 38 of Shane Theron also going to enter the mix for this battle for the lead.
He's going to choose the bottom, go with teammate and owner Alan Elwood. We're going to get settled in, though, for turn 3. Now they're actually going to go side by side for second, it looks like. So that's something Cameron Hearn enjoys seeing and would encourage more of that.
Shane Theron now is going to be the one on the bottom where we saw him, the only one up top on the last run towards the end of that green flag cycle. But now he's going to use the bottom to get around his teammate Alan Elwood. Elwood is actually going to elect to go down low. I thought maybe the 49 was going to give him a push there, but instead they race side by side for second. And you mentioned it, Hunter. Cameron Hearn loving what he's seeing right now in his mirror.
To agree, it looked like Elwood was setting up to bump Theron, but it almost seemed like it was going to be a little too much. Theron's going to settle in now with that second spot from the top, but Beckner closing in on the bumper of Alan Elwood, the first 4 all in a pack here.
And you know, Hunter, I really think here as we see Theron now go for the lead on Cameron Hearn, I think the difference this season we've seen in the 38, he was, not somebody that was competing for wins, let's say, every race last season. He was a top 5 guy for sure. But now we see him up there battling for wins, and I really think that W at Daytona he was able to get just helped build the confidence for Shane, and now he's out here literally battling for the lead as we speak.
Door to door for first, door to door for third. Well, the battle for third not quite there yet. Hearn going to shut the door on Theron, go on the apron, come back up, and get lined up for turn 1. Theron trying to diamond that corner now and get a run on the bottom here. Beckner trying to get a run on the outside to get past the 49 of Elwood. And he's going to have an advantage there. So,
was able to make it stick. Yeah.
He'll clear Elwood by the time they get to turn 3. Theron going to try his reign at the top once again. He's going to settle in for a nice run here on the front stretch.
Into the wall.
Backner into the wall. Yep.
I think that time was just a kiss as opposed to what we saw with Harden, so it shouldn't hurt him too much. He'll be able to rebound off of that, I do think, as Shane Theron simultaneously makes a pass for the lead.
Try and slide up in front of 67 and clear him, and he's going to do just that. We're on board with Beckner here. Don't think it damaged the car too much.
A little bit of crinkle on that right side.
Still getting at it.
I think he's a little shy. Kept the lane
No,
between
they're
him
still
and the
going.
wall there. So
say they're still going at it for the lead. Cameron Hearn had to run that time on the bottom, but it wasn't enough for Shane Therian to let go, and he'll continue to hold that lead, but Cameron Hearn not letting him go just yet.
No, he's not. And now for the first time tonight, we see the 38 out front. And with the advantage he's got, it's going to be interesting to see if he can start stretching that lead out over the rest of the field. They pulled away a little bit from Alan Elwood and Travis Beckner. Battle for fourth now. The 54, Colin Fanbro, he's going to shoot underneath the 28 of Travis Beckner. They're side by side, and the 54 is going to take that position away.
Yeah, even though it's small damage on the right front of the 28, gotta imagine that it's going to be affecting him on the straightaways because of how aerodynamically gifted this track is in the cars, and he's trying to hold on with what he's got right now as Richard Thomas is going to look underneath for that fifth spot.
Well, this first time tonight, we've said Richard Thomas's name, and he's up inside the top 5. So good for the number 1. We mentioned the Elwood cars, Hunter, got taken out in that last caution. So really, Richard Thomas is going to have to pick up a little bit of the slack for the rest of that team as we lost the number 18 and the 94 in that first wreck.
Yeah, for the team points, is it the first 2 cars, like the highest 2 finishing cars for the team?
Yeah, so right now, Elwood, he's got himself and the 38 is Shane Therian up in there, inside the top 3. So right now, they're still doing good on the team point side, but you never know. Want to have that third person there just in case. So yeah, top 2 drivers from each team score points every night. And I guess we can do a little bit of a rundown for that. So for Elwood Designs right now, they got first and third place Shane Therian and Alan Elwood. Elite Racing, or Elite Entertainment Gaming, I should say, has got Cameron Hearn in second and Travis Beckner in 6th. Bell Wiseheart Esports, we got Bryce Senesac in 7th and Garrett Grant back there in 8th. And then our 4th team is going to be Transcendent Motorsports right now. Their first 2 drivers are going to be the number 11, I believe, of Joe Hassert back in 16th, as well as looking for the next one. I think it's going to be Eli Green back there in 24th. Yeah, those are their first 2.
But back up front, Hearn is going at it for that lead on the bottom. Therian on the outside. They won't quit it.
They won't. Putting on a show for us tonight to watch, which is awesome. So can't be too mad at the battle we're seeing.
Absolutely not. This is some good stuff right here. Hearn's going to try and send it going down into turn 1. It won't be able to stick. Therian's going to get the run on the outside. See a little bobble there from the 67 of Hearn. They stay side by side. This might open up the door for third place Alan Elwood to get back in the battle. These two are they're pulling from that 3rd, 4th, and 5th place group.
Still side by side. Shane able to just use that top and get such good momentum down the straightaways, especially through 3 and 4. He's done a great job of just keeping that thing smooth and up against the high side.
A nice little breathing room there for Shane Therian. 3 car lengths almost between he and Cameron Hearn now. There's Alan Elwood trying to get a little bit of that draft and get back up here. Hearn going to look towards the apron, try and get a little lower corner there than 38 of Therian, and he's got a little run on him. Elwood now is half a second back from this battle. I feel like if they go side by side for the next couple laps again, that's going to allow the 49 to close back in and make it a 3-car battle.
For sure, and then I think you got to include the 54 in that as well, because he's done a good job tonight, Hunter, of being really smooth on his tires, I think. So I think he's playing the long-run strategy and hoping that this race goes green for a lot of laps, and then he'll be there at the end of the run, as opposed to these guys that are really racing hard at the beginning of the run. So I'm curious to see what would happen here in about 15 laps or so if these guys keep battling like this.
Cameron Hearn trying to get a little of that quarter panel. Now he's going to stay behind. He's going to give him a shove going down into turn 1.
Remember, these are
Trying.
these guys that switched. It was the 38 that got into the back of the 67, entering corner one. Back in the beginning of this race, got him a little bit squirrely, I guess is the best word.
Yes.
Fish,
There you go.
but he was able to collect it out. So I was wondering if the 67 might, return the favor.
Oh, 38 trying to get a run on the outside. They're going to be close with the wall.
That was
Wow.
tight. That was tight there for Shane Theron. He had to squeeze right up. Cameron Hearn was sliding up, and Shane he got this foot in it, man. He wasn't backing down.
That was a power glide, if anything, from Shane Theron. I mean, way to keep your foot in it. Really. And now here comes Elwood on the bumper of Cameron Hearn for second. Through, Beckner's still in sixth, although that right front damage has caused him to fade a little bit. It hasn't been too bad. He's still running that sixth spot.
Yeah, I think you guys were right. I think it's maybe cost him top 5 speed, but he's able to kind of steady out there in 6th. Garrett Grant up in 7th. This is one of the better runs we've seen him have all season in that number 5, up inside the top 10 early on here, as well as Bryce Senesack, Kyle Knapp, and Ed Robertson rounding out the top 10. And those guys, a couple of those guys are involved in that first yellow, so they were able to rebound and get themselves up inside this top 10, top 15 or so.
I gotta agree with what you said there, Jake, about Fambro and even Richard Thomas, because they've been bumper to bumper for quite some time, and they're really maintaining a safe distance from this front three, kind of just letting everything play out, so then they could possibly take advantage of it in the end.
I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, I think they're just trying to hold on to those tires, and they don't want to abuse their stuff up. They want to be there at the end of the run, but the problem is sometimes that can bite you, as we got Alan Elwood closing up on the leaders in a hurry and using the top side to do so. He's going to have a heck of a run right here, Hunter.
They might go 3 wide here.
Oh, he got boxed in.
He's going to have to give the shove to the 67 of Cameron Hearn, or will he? He might have backed off a good bit. Therion's still got a run on the bottom.
Watch out for the 49 here, though, if he runs the top through 3 and 4.
Oh, they're going to be close. Hearn with the run on the top, Therion on the bottom. Elwood going to go with the 67. Now Colin Fambro joining in 4th place with Richard Thomas. Settling back in 5th, watching the action unfold in front of him.
And Elwood is almost there already on Cameron Hearn, just off of the turn 4 high side run he had on the straightaway. He was able to almost challenge for the lead, but this time he is going to challenge for the lead through 1 and 2.
He's going to have it. He's going to have the run of a lifetime here. He's going to make that sharp cut to the bottom, I believe, before turn 3. There you go. Right on cue. Alan Elwood going to throw that 49 down on the bottom. He's blinking in and out, but he's still got a fast machine going up against the 67 of Cameron Hearn. They're going to be side by side off turn 4.
A couple connection issues tonight with the 28 of Beckner and now the 49 of Elwood. We're starting to see some blinking issues, so hopefully these guys will get that squared away. As we see, Elwood right now has a fast car, and Beckner as well had a very fast car as well early on in the race. So tough to see the connection issues because we're missing out on this great battle.
Absolutely. Elwood's still giving it his all down on the bottom, but Hearn going to have a run on the top here that's going to let him get a nose in front of that 49.
Here we go. Great shot.
Yeah, just watch the action unfold right in front of you.
He's that 5th place car, and he's got cars going high. He's got cars on the bottom. Battle for the lead, battle for 3rd, all right in front of him. 5th place running Richard Thomas.
That's 3 Elwood cars inside the top 5.
Oh, look at that. 3 wide move there from Colin Fambro on the bottom. See if he can make it stick, Hunter. Your pick's looking good right now.
I'll tell you, as someone that put channel points on him, you just love to see it.
They're going now from 3 wide down to 2 wide. Now Fambro, the only guy on the bottom. Well, for about 2 seconds. And then you got Shane Theron jumping down low. Look at that battle, man.
Now you got to think back to Garrett Grant, who's in 6th, watching all this go on in front of him. Because now Richard Thomas is in this mix.
Here comes Elwood.
Garrett Grant's a second back from this battle, and who knows, with the way they're racing in a few laps, he'll be up in this mix too.
Yeah, Grant's definitely started closing in as Elwood was able to fend off that charge from Shane Theron. Man, 3 wide again up inside the top 5. Look at Elwood just work the top side of the track. Or excuse me, that's Shane Theron rather. Work the top side of the track. I don't think you could ask for much more than this.
No, I don't think you can, unless really if you want everything under the sun, you want these guys 5 wide battling for the lead. And I mean,
We've had
that.
4 wide. Yeah, we've had 4 wide there.
Boy, we got caught up in the action that we're down to our halfway rundown presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor, Swift Lifestyles, for clean supplements that can help improve your focus and gaming. Use the discount code on your screen, AREA iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off your entire order. We would like to thank Swift Lifestyles once again for their support of AREA iRacing and this intense battle. I mean, really, we can say the same thing for the first 3 guys. I mean, Alan Elwood, he's got 26 laps led. He has a race-winning car, as does teammate Shane Theron right behind him. He's got a race-winning car as well. Only led 12 laps, though, compared to the 26, going to be 27 now for Alan Elwood. I mean, Cameron Hearn as well. I mean, these guys are still going at it. Hearn's led 13. He's not giving up just yet. And we got Colin Fambro now in the mix here, just behind the front 3. He's got 0 laps led on the night, but who knows? Second half could provide for some spicy racing in that number 54. And then Richard Thomas, the 3rd Elwood car, the Atlantic City native, running in the 5th spot. He'll probably get a good bit of sun this weekend. Should be some good weather down there by the shore. But nonetheless, still a fast car for the number 1.
And right behind him, the 6th place car tonight, Garrett Grant, the number 5, running for Bell Weishart Esports. He's gotten inside the top 10 here tonight, and he's actually closed in on our battle for the lead right now. So we're curious to see what that number 5's got, as well as his teammate right behind him, Bryce Senesac, in the number 09. He's up to 7th as well. Both those drivers with some late run pace here, trying to charge towards that top 5 spot. And how about Zach Swicegood, Hunter? One of the guys who missed out on Daytona, wasn't able to qualify in on the CNC Logging Truck Series. Well, he's rebounded tonight. He's had a great race so far in this number 24 Chevy Camaro. He's up inside the top 10. Right behind him, Kyle Knapp in the 27, the Infinite Gaming Ford Mustang. Been running around that 10th spot all night long, so no surprise. He was super fast in practice, so he might be a factor at the end of this thing. And then we'll finish up here with Travis Beckner in that number 28. He was up front, was able to snag a lap lead, but right now he's got that right side damage that's kind of dropped him back to the back half of the top 10 from Fort Myers, Florida. Let's keep an eye on what the 28's got, and that's our halfway rundown presented by Swift Lifestyles.
He's being hunted down by the Jacob Bell throwback for the 77 of Jordan Martin. Just behind that. But yeah, we got 6 cars now in this battle.
Yep.
Right, Senesac, 8 car lengths back from the 5 of Garrett Grant. It's actually... So Fambro moved up to 3rd. Elwood is still holding on to the lead. Hearn moved up to 2nd during that rundown, but we see the 54 there of Colin Fambro. You pointed out earlier, it seemed like he was saving tires along with the one of Richard Thomas. These guys are up to 3rd and 4th right now, and Fambro is just running the top, trying to get big of a run as he can to get up to the front 2 now. Because I think we're starting to see it now with Shane Theron now falling back to 6th. I don't know if he might have clipped the wall or anything, but tire wear got to become a factor for these front guys that have been going at it lap after lap.
For sure. No, I agree with you, and I think that's why we see people like Garrett Grant now up inside the top 5, and he's done a great job of just kind of laying back and then letting the car come to him, and right now he's getting the benefits of that because we were able to get a long green flag run. He's driving up inside the top 5, but we'll have to see. Just a couple cautions could really shake this thing up. I also think once we get within... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going.
I was thinking once we get inside 40 to go here, we could see some pit stops starting as well, and we're 43 to go right now at the moment. So next 5 laps or so, we might see some guys heading down pit road for their final stop of the race, or potential final stop of the race.
Very well could be. I mean, it could come down to fuel at the very end, so these guys might have to start doing some conserving here once we get to the green flag pit stop portion of our event.
Fambro right now is like the only guy I see in the top 10 running the top side of the track. So it's working for him. He's driven up to 3rd in that number 54, but at what cost is it going to, tear up his tires at this point of the run? Well, we'll have to see,
Yeah,
man. There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, he's gonna rip that bottom through 1 and 2. This is the calmest we've seen all night.
Yeah.
These guys, they finally settled down. I think tire wear definitely has to be a factor.
Yeah, I'm just noticing all the migrating we see towards the bottom of the track. Really, that's been the one thing I think that's kind of settled this thing out. Another factor we can't ignore is the weather. The sun completely is set now. The track's fully engulfed in the darkness, with the track lights being the only thing giving us some light. Track temp still sitting at 67 degrees, which is what we saw in qualifying. So you got to look at our weather here, presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. All of that is exactly what we saw in qualifying, actually. So no difference in terms of track conditions for these guys. So who knows?
And
maybe
wind.
it's a tire wear. Yeah, maybe it's a tire wear there, Hunter. That's the only thing that really changed on this green flag run.
Well, I'm looking through here. Got to give a shout out to Jose Ruiz. His first ever start, I believe, in area. Definitely first start in the Lodgebox series, and he is running. He's actually battling for that top 10 spot right now on the top with your paint scheme and Jordan Martin in the 77. But just looking through here, nice run for Jose in his first start.
Yeah. Jose reached out on Twitter and he said, "Hey, I've been checking out your guys' league for a while. And I want to get involved." Went ahead, registered, and got himself in the race for tonight. And you mentioned it, Hunter. He's done a good job. I think the best thing, Hunter, is we haven't talked about him. Most of the time when it's your first start, that's a good thing. If we don't talk about you, it means you haven't gotten in a wreck. You've kept that car clean and out of trouble, and he's done exactly that tonight.
And he's looking for a top 10 in his first ever start. So looking through, got to give him a little shout out there. And then just a couple cars behind that 33 of David Weishart. He is in this mix for the top 10 as well. It's not just up front; it's back here too.
Yeah.
They've been battling so much up front, we haven't seen any of the action back here. But all these guys are running for that top 10 spot. That's now held by Ruiz going into turn 1.
Yeah, and I was going to note, right behind Mr. David Weishart is actually the 28 of Travis Beckner. He's fallen all the way back to 14th right now, Hunter. So either that damage or the tire wear not helping Beckner right now. He's looking to get on pit road, I bet, in a hurry.
I think it's a little bit of both. But we'll have to see whenever these guys come down pit road, especially Beckner, if he'll how bad that damage is. If he'll take the optional repair or if he'll just send it back out.
Looking like about 3 to 5 laps, Hunter, is the number I was just given from series director Eric Wineland, and a couple laps here that we might start seeing some green flag pit stops here. So I think we're going to see a busy pit road in a hurry. I think everything's going to get moving along pretty quick here. These guys are going to want to get that final stop done, and it's very, very important here to be smooth on and off of pit road. You see a couple guys coming in now. It's the 02 of Eli Green. It's a tricky pit road. We talked about it pre-race. Those barrels. Here comes the 67 now of Cameron Hearn. He's the first one of our leaders to hit pit road. So Cameron Hearn is in. Right behind him, it's going to be the 38 of Shane Theron. First 2 drivers out of our top 10 to come down pit road. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel.
No, that is not an earthquake. That's just how fast these cars are going is making the camera shake that much.
Yeah,
the
you're talking 185.
Yeah, the camera is a boom camera is actually in turn 1. So as the cars are going underneath the camera, that's why we're getting the shake. So yes.
See now, if race leader Alan Elwood elects to come down pit road this time around, he will not. Actually, none of our top 5 drivers will. So they're staying on the racetrack. Next car we see coming down is Ricky Harden, but he is multiple laps down in the 24th position.
Don't think fuel, if this thing goes green to the end, don't think fuel will be that big of a concern.
No, I think with this stop here, with about 35 laps to go, everybody should have no issues with fuel. As you see Cameron Hearn coming out just inside the top 5. It's going to be all about that tire wear, Hunter. We saw what just happened on that first run and how different these guys raced from the drop of the green to the end of the green flag run. So it's a big difference, and I believe we got race leader Alan Elwood coming down this time.
Yep. Oh, almost contact there between Colin Fambro and Cameron Hearn with the difference in tire wear. I don't think Hearn was expecting that slow of a run there for the 54 of Fambro, but nonetheless Fambro leads a lap. Hearn gets around him and he'll be back on the lead lap here as we ride on board with Alan Elwood coming down pit road.
Yeah, and that also what you mentioned there, Hunter. Big point there for Colin Fambrough. He stayed out an extra lap and he led the lap, so he gets that one extra bonus point for leading a lap. I'm sure that impacted his strategy some because he knew Alan Elwood eventually would have to come down and he wanted to get that bonus point. So Alan Elwood is in. Colin Fambrough, he's actually going to stay out another lap, as well as Bryce Senesac in second. Zach Swicegood now up to third. Kyle Knapp and Jose Ruiz rounding out our top five. You see Ed Robertson in the 64 coming off of pit road. Large majority of our leaders have came down and made their pit stop already.
I want to be careful there. We just saw that that blue cone there briefly. You don't want to reemerge on the racetrack too early through 1 and 2. And I mean, only 14 degrees of banking in the turns and the apron. A lot of people like to use that, especially in 3 and 4. We see it sometimes in 1 and 2, but you don't want to carry too much speed and reemerge on the racetrack before you cross that blue cone. It is just off the exit of turn 2. Once you pass that cone, then you can reemerge on the racetrack. But gotta be careful because sometimes that apron will catch you off guard with how fast you're going.
Well, right now, race leader Colin Fambrough is yet to make his final stop, and we're looking at him on the screen. These next 3 cars have all made their pit stop already, and it's the 1 of Richard Thomas, the 5 of Garrett Grant, the 38 of Shane Theron. They're going to look to get around him in a hurry. But a big note here, Hunter, if you look just in front of this battle, it's the 49 of Alan Elwood. You would think he would be the race leader, right? He was the first one. He was the leader when the green flag pit stop started. But you have to go a few seconds up ahead of Alan Elwood. It's actually the 67 of Cameron Hearn. He gained a lot of track position by coming in early. And he's got an advantage of almost 2 seconds now, 2.5 seconds actually on Alan Elwood right now. So that is the projected battle for the lead, essentially, once this thing cycles out. And right now it's a 2.5 second margin for Cameron Hearn.
Bryce Senesac has made his way down pit road. Colin Fambrough is still out there logging some laps. You got to think that at this rate, the longer you stay out, the better it'll be, definitely for your tires. But will that provide somewhat of an advantage for Fambrough the later he stays out if this thing goes green to the end?
Looks like he might be coming down this time if I had to guess. He was really off throttle. Yeah, here he comes in the number 54. He's going to make his final pit stop now with 32 laps to go. It's going to be 31 by the time he hits his pit stall. It's going to cycle the lead over to Kyle Knapp. How about the 27 tonight getting a bonus point for a lap led?
Yeah, it really hasn't had that much race speed. Don't think we've seen him inside the top 10 at all tonight. He was second quickest in practice, but nonetheless got to come out of it with a bonus point there for leading a lap. Good job on him in that part. And just behind him, Jose Ruiz running in second. He could lead a lap in his first ever area start.
Yeah, that would be cool to get a bonus point in the lap led.
Or will our in-race reporter David Weishart take that away? Nope. He will come down pit road.
Well, right now, Kyle Knapp is actually the first guy out of our playoffs by 1 point. So that 1 point means a lot, as you can see. He's 1 point behind Garrett Grant in the standings, but he just picked up a bonus point for leading a lap. He's actually led 2 now, so that could play big as we get closer and closer to playoff times. I know it's only race 4, Hunter, but 12 races in the regular season and then 5 races in the playoffs. You always got to be thinking about those points.
You always got to be worrying about them points racking up. The more points you get, the better you're sitting in the points.
So
did I mention points?
All 3 series had guys swapping in and out of playoff contention at the playoff start. All 4 series. So I would venture a guess we're going to see that again at the end of the regular season. Guys racing to get themselves a chance in the playoffs and some pretty good racing.
Indeed, Harold, as Travis Beckner has made his way down pit road. We'll see how long he takes on pit road, because remember, he did make contact with the turn 4 wall. As Jake mentioned, he gave it a kiss, but it might have been too hard of a kiss on that right front as he was falling to the back. But we'll see how long he takes on pit road. If he'll just do 4 tires to take the time to do the optional repair. Kyle Knapp still leading. 2.5 gap between he and Jose Ruiz.
And it looks like he doesn't
No
waste any
option.
time on pit road there, Hunter. He didn't want to get any of that damage fixed. So Beckner just took the 4 tires and fuel, and he went on his way. Which is probably the right strategy under green flag. You don't really want to stay in your box longer than you have to if you have a green flag pit stop. If we catch a caution, I expect to see the 28 come back down and get that thing fixed up. But right now under green flag stops, it's all about saving as much time as possible. And to that point, Cameron Hearn just must have done a fantastic job on pit road, because that 2-second gap is still holding over Alan Elwood right now for the projected race lead. But I will not lie, Hunter, Kyle Knapp has stayed on the racetrack longer than I thought he would. Top 5 have yet to pit.
Yeah, and Ruiz have stayed out quite a bit. Top 5 haven't pitted in 44 laps or so, but once again, the longer you stay out, the better it'll be for your tires. But how much of an advantage will that be?
I don't know. I think it's important where you come out off your pit stop, right? So if you come out of pit road and you're 5 seconds off of whoever that race leader is going to be, I think you lost in the strategy game, unless you have 10 lap fresher tires or a substantial amount lap fresher tires where you can make up that margin, as we see Kyle Knapp now coming down pit road. I just think it's important to be quick with your decision, and really, really important just to get on and off pit road quickly. And how about this, Hunter? Jose Ruiz, he's going to get that lap lead you were talking about.
Yep, and his first ever start in area and in the Lodgebox series. This gotta be a good finish, regardless. I mean, you led a lap in your first race ever.
Car's clean.
He's had speed. Yeah, car is clean, and looks like he's signaling, "Hey, I'm going to come down pit road this time."
Yes, he is. He did call that out.
That's something I would do. I would stay out as long as I can, lead a lap, and then, all right, coming down pits. That's all I wanted to do, lead a lap. I'm happy with my night.
That's a cool story there, and it's gonna be Jordan Martin would have been the leader in that number 77, but he's actually going to follow the 23 down on pit road as well, and that's going to complete our round of pit stops now, Hunter. Every lead lap car has came down pit road.
And that means the lead will cycle back to Cameron Hearn. Has a gap of about, I'd say, 1.5 seconds, close to 2 seconds over Alan Elwood.
So now it's the game of who can catch the leader and who has the tires to do it. Cameron Hearn, he's going to pick up that top spot, and you mentioned it, 1.5 seconds back now, Alan Elwood. He has closed in slightly on race leader Cameron Hearn, and he does have the fresher tires. Actually, to the field's advantage right now, Hunter, Cameron Hearn has the oldest tires out of anybody in our top 10.
Yep, and it's going to set up for guys like Alan Elwood, Richard Thomas, Garrett Grant, Darian, even Fambro. With fresher laps on their tires. Oh no! Cameron Hearn into the wall! My goodness, I can't believe what I've just seen. The caution has come out once again, and it's like deja vu all over again for Cameron Hearn, our race leader. Last week he had an incident at Bristol with lap traffic, and it seems like it's followed him again this week. That is a tough break for the 67.
Wow. And it was the 97 who he was lapping that got into the left side there of Cameron Hearn. Oh, man. This is going to be an interesting one here, Hunter. Let's take a look at a replay here. You mentioned it, presented by One to Go Studios. It was race leader Cameron Hearn, and he was catching the lap car of the 97 of Charles Canita.
That was him coming off pit road, too, so trying to get the tires warmed up, and it just snapped on him right there, and just snapped.
Oh.
That is tough to watch for the Hearn fan club. Well, that changes everything, and so that will open up the door for these guys. If they want to come back down on pit road, and they're not wasting any chance, they are going to do just that. I believe one driver might have stayed out, and they were a lap down. Oh, no, Kyle Knapp. Yeah, those guys that just pitted, this is a big break for them. Kyle Knapp, Jose Ruiz, they're both going to stay out. They both stayed on the lead lap because they pitted just before that caution came out. And they're going to restart up front along with the 77 of Jordan Martin, who I believe did lead a lap in the pits. That number 77. Forrest Smith staying out as well. Charles Canita. I don't think he'll stay in the fifth spot. He might be given a EOL there for that caution.
Yep, and series director has already made the call that the 97 will get the EOL for that caution. And how about the battle off of pit road? David Weishart looks like, yeah, he beat them off of pit road. So definitely a tire strategy there call for the number 33.
There's only one way to find out, Jake. I don't know if we can bring him up just yet.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. Let me go grab him for you if you want to set it up here. I'll hand him off to you here.
All right, this is my impression of Jacob Bell. What is the tire strategy looking like, David? What did you do that time?
I took 2 tires right there. I only had like 5 laps on my left side tires, so I needed track position. So hopefully the 2 tires looks like it got me to track position. It's just a matter of do I got the speed.
Well, it looked like it worked out for you on the pit road race off the pit lane. And I did say earlier in the race, if you take 2 tires here, you got to be a maniac or a menace, and I think you're that maniac because you took 2 tires. But we'll see if it works out for you. I mean, it's a good call.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a calculated risk there. I ran that last stint long, so hopefully 5 laps on my left side tires don't affect it too bad.
David, I'm not sure if you saw there, but sorry, I'm jumping real quick. Not sure if you saw there, but race leader Cameron Hearn, another incident this season where a lap car and a lead lap car get together. I was just wondering your thoughts on that before we get you back here on the restart and let you go.
Yeah, I don't 100% know what happened there, but so I don't know if I can really comment on that incident. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of been a problem all season across all the series. I'm sure we'll get it figured out, though. It's early in the season, and you got a bunch of guys still learning how to race around each other. So I believe it'll get better, but it just may take some time.
All right, David. Well, good luck, man, and we'll be watching.
All right, thanks, guys.
I like this in-race report. It's pretty cool there. Yeah, get you some good insight.
I'll say I like it. Picasso. I couldn't go without saying it. Oh, it is too fun saying that, but not as fun as this restart up here because this is going to shake some things up. Kyle Knapp, Jose Ruiz going to be on our front row. They pitted literally right before that caution came out. And
Top 4, Hunter. Top 4 are looking for their first career win in area. One of them having their first start in area tonight, so this should be good.
Could be, and you got to go back to Jordan Martin there running in third. He could pick up a win, and it could be in your car. I mean, that paint scheme finished third here last time we were here for the Cup Series for season 1. We're back underway. Good jump there from Kyle Knapp. Forrest Smith did not get a good jump. He's going to keep it on the outside here. Jordan Martin jumping up into second. Then we got Powell for third now between Jose Ruiz on the outside, Weishart on the bottom. But Ruiz will have a run from Alan Elwood there in the 49 just behind him.
Oh, look at Martin sideways there in the 77. 33 of David Weishart's going to tuck right up to his back bumper and take away that third spot. He's going to have to hope he can run away because Alan Elwood's already looking for that second spot. They're 3 wide back there for going into turn 1.
Yep, the newer tires for Elwood going to be a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the competition here. He's going to slide up from the bottom to the top in front of Jordan Martin. He's going to set him up with his eyes on the leader, Kyle Knapp, as they work their way into turn 3. We've crossed the 20 laps to go mark in our California Dreamin' 200, which is presented by CNC Logging. We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in the area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. Got wood, big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log, guaranteed. CNC Logging.
Right now, Kyle Knapp on the same tires, Hunter, because he had just pitted. You mentioned it. He's looking pretty fast right now in that 27. I won't lie.
He's holding his own for the moment. Clean Air can only do so much, though, because Alan Elwood has the fresher tires, and it is showing. And he's taking
here it comes. He's looking to the top at all. He actually tucks back in. Yeah, tucks back in.
Oh, he's going to have a run on the bottom now. They're going to be side by side for the lead off turn 4. Kyle Knapp on the outside with the emerging Alan Elwood down on the bottom, and no contest there. 49 of Alan Elwood retakes the lead.
Curious to see what Kyle Knapp can do in second. You see the battle for third. Shane Theron down low, David Weishart up high. Looks like Shane Theron's going to take that spot and look for more as he's working on the number 27 of Kyle Knapp. He's going to tuck in line behind him, set up for a pass here going into turn 3.
Shane Theron is the next one with 4 tires because David Weishart took 2 tires there. Theron's going to get a run on the outside, close to making contact with Kyle Knapp, but nonetheless, he gets the run off the corner. Now we got Elwood drivers running 1-2. And not too far behind, Colin Fambro in the mix as well, looking for that third spot.
Yeah, Fambro, he's had a strong car all night, and with 20 laps to the end here, this run is setting up perfect for him. He's going to slide in front of the 27.
Wow. Yeah, that was a risky slide, but it worked. Weishart going to give it a go on the bottom now for that third spot. He's running in the 4th spot currently. Kyle Knapp falls back to 5th, but the run on the outside for Fambro is just too much for David Weishart to battle.
Now here comes Garrett Grant as well in that number 5. He's entering up into the top 5. 16 laps to go here at Auto Club.
Technically teammates, even though Weishart's only running his second race in the Lodgebox series. One of his drivers is Garrett Grant in that 5, so would imagine that the two would work together towards the closing laps of this race.
Look at that. He's going to actually put him 3 wide almost there is Garrett Grant, going all the way to the bottom of the track and working the low line through turn 3 and 4 here. He's going to get clear of the 27 and officially take over that 5th spot.
Yep. Top 3, Elwood, Theron, and Fambro all pitted underneath that last caution. And they're all breaking away from the pack with Weishart leading that. Garrett Grant behind as well for that 5th spot. They're calming down for the moment, although we do see 3 wide in the back there with Bryce Senesag. Looks like Jordan Martin and that's Hassard. No, it was Jose Ruiz, but they were 3 wide at one point.
So we're coming up at that 10 to go.
Oh, it's
for go time, right?
Yeah. I'll say these guys are probably cooling down the jets for the moment and saving up their tires and their energy, everything that they got in that car, saving it for the last 10 laps or so.
Yeah, I will not lie. Right now, it's looking like this race has kind of fell into the lap of Alan Elwood. I was curious to see how that green flag run would have worked out because he was the fastest car on track there towards the middle part after those green flag pit stops, and we didn't get a chance to see what he could have done there on the long run. Now he's got the race lead basically handed to him, but he's going to have to hold off his teammate, it's Shane Theron, who's also been very quick all night long at that number 38. So we'll have to see how it all plays out here towards the end of this thing as we just now cross the stripe. 13 laps to go, make it 12 laps to go.
So you got to go back to Daytona when it was Cameron Hearn versus Elwood Eden Sports for the finish. Didn't know if we would see any moves being made from those guys because, you know, at the end of the day, you got to get a good points finish for the team. And I think we might see that, although Richard Thomas is 27th. So if anything happens to one of these guys up front, Thomas would probably benefit, whether it's, say, Elwood or Theron, taking it a little too far and maybe losing their car at the very end. But got to think the bigger picture here if you're Shane Theron. I know second sucks, but it benefits the team more. because that's max points that you can get right there if you're running for the team championship. First and second can't be any better.
Yeah, no, definitely. Can't ask for much more than that for the Elwood Designs Esports Camp, and they're doing a good job at it, and potentially got either one of those guys going to victory lane tonight before it's all said and done.
Colin Fambro running in the third spot. So you see Therian trying to run the outside. I don't know if Fambro and Grant are planning something, or if they're just waiting until the right time to pounce.
Well, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to hope that these guys up front are burning through their tires quicker than they are, and I don't know if that's the case. The way Elwood's running his line, he's very protective right now. He's running the top. He's just kind of rolling through the corners. No problem at all right now, it looks like, for Alan Elwood if he's able to hang on to this thing to the end. That was Elwood here. He's going to cross the stripe. We're going to get down to 9 laps to go for the number 49, looking to pick up another victory in the Lodgebox series. He started on pole tonight. Hunter, I know you had a little streak going at the beginning of the season with pole drivers being the ones to go to victory lane, and it kind of fell off the last few weeks. But, man, Elwood, he might make that streak come back alive here tonight.
He might. I still have confidence in my driver, though, Colin Fambro. Still got confidence in him.
Well, Fambro, one of those guys looking for his first career win. If Elwood's able to get it done tonight, it'll be his third career win in the Lodgebox series. Shane Theron, we saw him pick up his first career win a few weeks back at Daytona. So both those drivers have gone to victory lane already, as has Garrett Grant. Colin Fambro, the first one that has not gone to victory lane yet. And right now he's under attack from Garrett Grant for third.
Yeah, he's trying to run that top through 3 and 4, and it's just not working for him. Garrett Grant's going to slide up in front of him and take that third position away.
Garrett Grant, he's put himself in a good spot here, Hunter. You got to keep in mind that the number 5 car started all the way back in the 14th position. So in terms of passing cars, he's pretty much done it all tonight. Other than David Weishart, who's up 22 spots, Garrett Grant, he's up 11 since the start of this thing, but he's had to really work for it.
I know, absolutely.
We'll see how it all plays out here. 7 laps to go. Grant starting to catch the number 38 for second.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if that was just Fambro signaling, hey, I know you're faster than me. I'm just going to let you go. I don't have anything for those guys. Looks like that might have been what we're seeing because Garrett Grant closing in on that bumper, the 38 Shane Therian.
Yeah, Grant looks pretty fast right now. And when you look at the lap times, last time around, fastest car on the track was actually going to be the number 5, just barely, with the 49 of Alan Elwood actually the second fastest car on track. So right now, you'd have to think if he can clear the 38 here in a hurry, there's a chance the number 5 could find himself racing for the win with Alan Elwood, but he's going to have a long way to go, and he's going to have to hope he can get around this 38 quickly.
Yep, and here he comes down on the bottom. We're going to be side by side for second. Therian on the outside, Grant on the bottom.
Is Grant going to try to slide up?
Oh!
Oh, man, what a move. Both those drivers were able to put on. Grant did the slide job, and the 38 did the crossover to perfection. I don't think it could have got much closer than it did. Luckily, both those drivers kept it clean as they run second now. I was going to say, I didn't think the 38 was just going to roll over and let the 5 go by with his teammate being the race leader. He doesn't want that 5 to get to his teammate either.
Really not. I mean, they've allowed Elwood to go another car length in front of these guys.
He's going to try it again?
I don't know if he's going to try it again. I don't think he's got the run this time by.
No, he's going to have to settle in line here and use that draft down the straightaway of the 38.
Boy, we might see a collision between these two with the way they're racing in the closing laps of the California Dream in 200.
But you mentioned it with these guys battling. as the number 54 now starts to close up in the picture. It's really allowing the 49 of Alan Elwood to start growing his lead ever so slightly. It was 7/10, now it's up to 8/10 as they work 4 laps to go on the back straightaway. Who is going to be able to make the move for second?
Yeah, he's going to try this time. Garrett Grant going to try and slide in front of that number 38. And he's not going to have enough. It's turned into a dogfight for a second between possibly 4 drivers as Alan Elwood continues to pull away with 3 laps to go here.
Garrett Grant lost a lot of time that time. He had to get out of the throttle on the exit of turn 4 to avoid that crossover attempt, and it just really played into the benefit of the 38 of Shane Thieren. He was able to hold on to that spot and allow Elwood now to grow his lead even further. Almost a second advantage now for Alan Elwood as they work down to turn 3.
Yeah, it might turn into a dogfight for third now because that top seems to be rolling well for Shane Thieren. Grant holding his own for the moment, but Colin Fambrough looking to pounce with 2 to go.
We also got a pack forming up for 6th place. It's David Weishart, Bryce Senesac, Kyle Knapp, Jose Ruiz, all those guys battling inside the top 10 for those final few spots.
Running inside the top 10, looking for a pretty stout finish for his first ever area start.
Absolutely. That 23's done a heck of a job tonight, but so has Alan Elwood. He's been one of the guys to beat all night long from the start to finish. He got the pole time, Hunter, and he's looking to take the white flag.
He's led the most laps at 57. He's going to come across the start-finish line here. 1 lap to go, presented by Want to Go Studios.
Got 1 car blowing up. It's the 19 of Rick Christensen. He's able to make it down to pit road, so this will be the finish here tonight, as Elwood's now stretched the advantage over a second to his teammate Shane Thieren and Garrett Grant back there in third. On the backstretch for the final time, though, Alan Elwood, one of the most dominant performances he's had, looking to capture career win number 3 in the Lodgebox series.
Yep, they're going to fight and claw for that second spot, but that won't matter because the top spot belongs to Alan Elwood. He comes off turn 4. He led the most laps, and he's going to take that checkered flag. Alan Elwood wins that Auto Club.
Heck of a fight through much of that top 10 between David Weishart, Bryce Senesac. How about Jose Ruiz coming home 8th in his first career start? Ed Robertson and Kyle Knapp rounding out the top 10 finishers tonight. But it's all Alan Elwood and that Elwood Designs esports team capturing the 1-2 at Auto Club and win number 3 on the career of Alan Elwood. What a race, Hunter. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I mean, it just great racing all the way around. We saw 3 wide, saw 4 wide, saw every lane being used. Even the apron was used through the turns. I mean, just an absolutely jaw-dropping race.
A lot of action. Yeah, there was lanes against the top side of the track, against the wall, in the middle, on the bottom, all over this track these guys were racing. And it's going to be the 49 picking it up. And nobody picked him, Hunter, in our contest.
Wow. Would have thought at least someone picked him.
Well, all those channel points going bye-bye. Nobody gets to pick them up. But he's doing his burnouts, and we're going to get a chance to catch up with him in a few seconds here, as he's probably going to his Polish victory lap. Good-looking paint scheme, too, tonight, of course, from the Elwood Designs team. No surprise there, though.
They've always got those paint schemes looking in check, but it's going to be a long Polish victory lap. It's a 2-mile D-shaped oval, this track is.
He's gonna do the burnout instead.
I was gonna say it would be a long Polish victory lap if he were to go the entire length of the track here.
We'll go ahead and bring him up. How about that, Hunter? I'll hand him off to you here.
Yep. Got our race winner, Alan Elwood, up here. This is Hunter, Harold, and Jake in the booth with a copy.
I got you. I'm trying to get in the victory lane.
Yeah, we see it right now. You're dirt tracking it. It's like we're at Bristol again. Yep, so parked in victory lane. I mean, just phenomenal race from everyone, especially yourself, leading the most laps with 59. Seemed like you, Beckner, Cameron Hearn, that first half, just an amazing battle. But that caution at the very end worked out in your advantage. Take us through what that race was like.
And, first off, I just got to say I hate it for Cameron because, as you guys saw, all of us up there had a great battle, and that last run there was going to play out to where we were going to have a great battle coming to the finish, and just some more unfortunate events happened with him there that took him out. So hate it for him. But just like, that was a great race. That was so much fun. All of us were clean. We stayed off each other for the most part. But we were able to run side by side, 3 wide. That was some of the most fun racing you can ever watch and be a part of. Like, that was some good stuff.
I'll say the racing hasn't changed after last week at Bristol. I mean, granted, Ryan Hart's led every lap, but I mean, Bristol's Bristol. I mean, great racing there. We saw 3 wide, 4 wide, saw the apron being used. Gotta be a good point stay as well for you and Elwood Design Esports. Shane Therian finishing second right behind. Take us through what that was like, because I mean, if Therian was there at the end, I mean, you gotta think bigger picture here, or would you just battle it out for the win?
And I kept telling Shane, get away. I was like, I want this win. And he's like, no, I'm coming for it. No, I mean, you got to race it out at the end. You got to get every win you can. They're hard to come by in this league, especially. You have events where, Cameron has some unfortunate stuff happen, and you're like, all right, one of the best cars is out of the race. You got to try to take advantage of that, especially. And so, if he's right there, I expect him to race. You don't want to hand it to you. That's not how you want to get locked in. So just knowing that you were able to do it on pure pace alone is satisfaction enough, and just to have me, Shane, and Rich in the top 5, you can't ask for better points wise for the team too. So I'm ecstatic over that.
Yeah, I was going to jump in there, Alan. It's your 3rd career win in this series. These Xfinity cars is definitely your forte, and you really like running these things. And, I mean, most laps led tonight with 59. Talk to us about what it means to be locked in, especially in this season. We see a lot more cars than we saw last season. A lot of fast guys as well running this series. How does it feel to be locked in with still 8 races to go until we get the playoffs started?
Oh, my gosh. I'm stoked because the schedule is really tough. We got some really hard tracks coming up. We got Darlington, we got Kansas, we got Coda. You got to get yourself locked in when you can, because the schedule's not easy and the competition's not easy. So anytime that you can get a win and get yourself knowing that you're going to be in the playoffs here in a few weeks is awesome. And just thankful I was able to get it done tonight for sure.
Jake is still mute.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you go ahead, wrap it up, but I got it. I'll pick it up here from everybody up in the booth, man. Alan, I see a lot of sponsors on that car. You guys do a great job with your social media work as well. Talk to us about who helped you get here and who helped you get it done tonight.
Yeah, just first off, thank the team sponsors, High Banks Podcast, Roderick Racing Development. Glad we got AJ on the car tonight. Got him another podium with RRD on there. So Reaper Speed Lab, Performance Powder Coating, just everybody that makes it happen for the team. Elwood Design Esports, awesome job by the team tonight. Like I said, can't say enough about a 1-2 in team points. So fantastic job, everybody, all around. Appreciate you guys up here in the booth for putting on the race tonight, and all the sponsors of the area that make it happen. Lodgebox, Elite Entertainment, CNC Logging. Just appreciate all the partners that we have, and can't wait to go get them next week. Let's go.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on the win, and we'll see you back next week at Dover.
Appreciate it, guys.
Sorry to cut you off there, Hunter. I had to jump in.
You're all good. That was a race winner, Alan Elwood. That will bring up 10th place finisher and teammate to Alan Elwood, Shane Therian. Shane, Hunter, Jake, and Harold in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
Boy, good day for you guys at Elwood Design Esports. I mean, max points. That's as good of an outcome as you can get from a team standpoint. But from a standpoint, and you're number 38. You're making it known early on in the season. Hey, I'm not one to mess around with. I have race winning speed, and you showed it the last handful of laps or so. Kind of got away with you. need a drink, but Elwood ran away with it. You still had a pretty fast car. Take us through your night.
Well, I almost didn't make practice. I was celebrating my cousin's birthday today, and I was like, oh crap, it's like 8:30. So
Shout out.
I joined the session. And I was like, oh, I got 30 seconds left. So I guess I'm not practicing. So I didn't even know what to expect, but I qualified 10th and just kind of watched what everyone was doing. Everyone's at the bottom. Then I just like, I'm gonna see if this drives like the ARCA car. I went to the top, and I went all the way to the front, right at the top. And I was like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I definitely said after my Daytona win that I wasn't gonna sit around and focus on points. I'm just gonna be aggressive and try things, and it's working so far.
We heard Elwood say that he was telling you to get away and that you were refusing, but I mean, he had a fast car, but nonetheless, you had a fast car as well. Take us through what that first wreck was like, because you said you started back in 10th. I don't know if you were in front of it or behind it when it happened, but it had to be a close call there.
Apparently, it happened directly in front of me, but I didn't even see it. Like I had zero idea there was a wreck anywhere near me until I went to the relative and saw it was the 7 and someone else that were 2 spots ahead of me, and I was like, I don't even know where it happened. I was on the bottom, so I don't know if it happened above me, but I was like, okay, like I did not know at all that there was those guys that wrecked, so I have zero idea.
Well, Shane, I think Hunter kind of alluded to it, man. Last season, you were a top 5, top 10 kind of guy. This season, we've seen you battling for the wins every single week. Talk to us about the difference. Was it the win at Daytona that kind of opened it up for you this year, or was it just something you changed in the offseason that helped you come in a lot quicker this season for sure?
I think it's just the season running these cars. I just got used to them. And then the tracks have been way better for me. Besides Phoenix, I don't know what they did to Phoenix. I kind of hate that now, but it's just been fun, and I just haven't focused more on strategy than I had. Like all of last season, I focused more on strategy. We had a lot of fuel mileage races, so with the full fuel, it's been just straight driving. So it's been just drive hard and hope for the best. I mean, I gotta figure out how to save my right front. I don't know how Cam saved his right front. Me and him were battling as hard as we were earlier, and he stayed with Allen, and I fell back. I was like, I have zero idea how he did that, but I'll figure it out at some point.
Well, Shane, a lot of sponsors all over that race car. Of course, beautifully done by Elwood Designs. Talk to us about who helped you get here, and we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I'm going to thank, High Banks Podcast, Elwood Designs. I forgot the Rhino one, but it's the Rhino guys over there. And then, of course, I got, the Navy on my car and FRN. And then, thank you guys for broadcasting, and hope you enjoyed the show. I know me, Cam, and Alan are putting on a show over the first half.
Yeah, no, you guys were using every inch of the racetrack. A lot of fun to watch. Congrats on the second place, man. We'll see you back next week in Dover.
Thank you.
And that was second place finisher Shane Deere. Now we're going to move on to third place finisher tonight in the number 5. It's going to be Garrett Grant. Good run for you tonight, Garrett, man. You're finally able to get that monkey off your back, get up inside the top 5, and have a shot at the win towards the end of this thing. Talk to us about the strategy there at the end and how you were able to cycle to the front.
My crew chief and spotter, Dwayne, he kind of wanted to do the Cameron strategy and come in early there. But I hate doing that. I hate being on the defense and stuff. I'd much rather be on the offense at the end there. But I was probably, if that went green, I was probably going to end up third anyway. But that first run, I just sat back and saved my tires. I started cutting through them really good. I was a couple tenths faster in them. And then that first caution came out and kind of jumbled things up there. But just saving the tire really good tonight. I was faster than Alan there at the end, but Shane did some really good defense there, and I heated up the right front trying to pass him there, and then I was just trying to hang on for third at that point. But yeah, like you said, great run for me. Finally got the monkey off my back. I was kind of getting sick and tired of getting taken out of these things.
Yeah, I mean, it was refreshing to see you back up there because, like I said, Phoenix was a tough race for you. Bristol asphalt, I should say, or concrete, was an interesting race as well. But you looked good out there tonight, getting up towards the front at the end of this thing. Hunter, I'll hand it off to you if you got any questions here for third place finisher Garrett Grant.
You kind of put it set in stone right there. Everything I had, you said it.
Well, Garrett, a lot of sponsors on that car, man. Talk to us about who helped you get it done out there tonight, other than spotter crew chief Dwayne Dunn.
Yeah, I gotta thank Lodgebox, Wax Electric, Butt Kicker, Chris Sports Cards, and everybody that puts this thing on. Jacob and all the admins for putting up with all the bull crap, and Dwayne for spotting for me, and everybody for watching. You guys for broadcasting.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on the 3rd place run. See you back next week at Dover.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, Hunter. That'll wrap it up here tonight at Auto Club. 100-lap race, our California Dreamin' 200. Alan Elwood gets the victory, leading 59 laps. Only had 3 cautions. We had 2 cautions last year, so we didn't beat that.
Extra
like
5
Harold
laps.
was asking pre-race. But yeah, we
Extra 5 laps.
Yeah, extra 5 laps. Yeah, maybe that's why we got that extra caution. So 33 drivers started tonight's event. Fastest lap was Travis Beckner early on in that number 28. So look at our Elwood Designs race recaps. Hunter, that was a fun one out there tonight, man.
Absolutely, it was, and we'll go ahead and take a look at our finishing order here. So Elwood getting the most laps and getting the job done. Shane Therian second, Garrett Grant third, Colin Fambro fourth. Rounding out the top 5 is Richard Thomas with our in-race reporter David Weissart coming home P6, Bryce Senesac 7th. And how about Jose Ruiz? In his first ever area race, he leads a lap and he gets a top 10 finish, finishing in 8th. That number 23 car, Ed Robertson 9th, and Kyle Knapp rounding out the top 10.
11th place is Transcendent Motorsports driver Joe Hassard in the number 11. Zach Swicegood's going to come home 12th. 13th is going to be Jordan Martin. 14th, Christopher Buds. 15th is going to be Travis Beckner. Finishing 16th tonight, Ed Morris Sr. 17th, Charles Kaneda after some late race contact with Cameron Hearn. 18th place is going to be Forrest Smith. 19th, Adam Capps in the number 55. And then Jacob Hudson rounding out our top 20.
And Kyle Smith 21st, Rick Christensen 22nd. These guys, no, Rick Christensen finished, but everyone behind him did not. There was a good bit of drivers that retired, and Cameron Hearn was one of them, finishing 23rd with Eli Green, Ricky Harden, Chris Seinfeld, Danny Ware, Davey Hendricks, Dustin Carroll, and Ryan Swan, rounding out the top 30 with James Scioli, Mason Kane, and Christian Martinez, rounding out our full 33-car field. Well, Harold, Jake, any final thoughts before we pack it up from the West Coast?
Ready to get to Dover, man. I'm looking forward to going to that concrete track. We got Ryan Hartz as one of our JBR drivers who's pretty stout there, so looking forward to see what he can do and what the rest of the team can do next week.
Yep, definitely looking to come to the home track. It's funny, we actually see the lightning coming at us, the weather coming in, so we got the race in.
Yeah. It's a light show out there. There's very rare does it rain in California, and we're getting a light show from none other than Mother Nature herself. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here from everyone up here in the booth to make all this possible. Harold Garner, our executive producer, Jacob Bell, a league owner, and I am Ernest Slappy saying so long, and we'll see you from Dover, Delaware.
What an exciting race brought to you by One to Go Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.